Hello and welcome, Million Mom Movement community. Welcome to Fierce Friday. My name is Stephanie Don. I'm the chair of the Million Mom Movement Council, and I'm joined today by my council members, each of which you'll be hearing from today. This is our business forward presentation. We focus here on health and we focus on wealth, and we go back and forth every Friday. So today we're going to be diving deep into how it is into social media and how it is that you can be livening up your social media with stories and reels. And we have a very special guest today. I just found out this morning, oh my goodness, breaking news, Crown Cindy Kelly is with us today. I'm so excited. Welcome, Cindy. Can't wait to dive in with you. And before we do, I'd love to invite Jody Parker to come on and share our pledge, because this is where we really unite. This is where we really connect. This is what's brought us all together, right, Jody? This pledge.
Indeed, this is the mission that we all share. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see it with me. And this pop-up comes up. Don't worry, we are the only ones who get that information. This is millionmommovement.info. You go to the join under movement, and we're going to take it all the way down to the bottom of the screen. And we are going to set our intentions. So read along with me. The Million Mom Movement Pledge. I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and environment of future generations. I am committed to sharing this movement of many. I am the Million Mom Movement. And you will notice that mom is capitalized because it stands for movement of many. It started as moms, and then we realized that many, many people care about our food supply, the health of ourselves and our children. So movement of many includes any of you, moms, dads, aunts, uncles, teachers, caregivers, etc., who care about the state of our food and the future of our children. And so that is our pledge. Stephanie, back to you.
Beautiful, thank you. So Jody was on our site, millionmommovement.info, which we are constantly updating. Currently, what's going on is we are working to update our scholarship program, which we're hopeful will be back online this month. So please stay tuned for that. We're refining and just up-leveling, and it's really exciting what's going on with that program. Nayeva, Florie is a big part of that. Shout out to you, Nayeva. And now we're going to go to Taz Ferreira, who has a little news clip for us for our In the News piece, that segment that we're doing now. If you have something that is inspiring you or you think should be elevated on a Fierce Friday, please reach out to us. And hello to you, Taz. Hi.
Hi, how are you? Hi, everyone. Okay, so today about In the News, this is a perfect timing about, Earth Month, right? So we are going to be talking about something that has been coming to my attention more and more, and that is microplastics. So this is very new studies, okay, about what microplastics are actually doing to our organs. And also microplastics have been found in our cells, in our blood, okay? So let me just read the things that really spoke to me in this article is that 13 patients undergo surgery and microplastics were found in 11 cases, okay? And the most common particles were polypropylene in plastic packaging, pipes, bottles, okay, all of these microplastics. And microplastics were detected in human blood for the first time in March. This is last month, okay, so not that long ago. And it was large in organs. And so they say the impact on the health is unknown. So we don't have that many studies yet, but we know we are subjecting our organs to microplastics. So we know already that this is very harmful. And what this does, it binds to our cells, it binds to our DNA, and it causes mutation. It causes a lot of things that we don't even know that much yet. And listen to this. Let me find the part that I read today, and okay, here. So Microplastics have been found in the placenta of pregnant women and in pregnant rats. They pass rapidly through the lungs, the heart, brain, and other organs of the fetuses. Okay, so now that I brought this to your attention, so now you know about this. You're thinking, well, what can I do? We've been subjecting our bodies to microplastics for hundreds of years, right? From generations. So this is what we can start doing. We can start making changes, okay? So the number one thing I would start doing, start looking at your water bottle. Start making the change into glass water bottles. All of those plastic water bottles, especially if you're keeping them in the car overnight, they're being heated. This is not good, okay? You are seeping the microplastics into the water and you're drinking it, but you're thinking, I'm doing good for my body, I'm hydrating, right? So you think so, but here we are, the Million Mom Movement, raising the level of education that no, you need to dive deeper. You need to look further and make the change. And I love our Purium stainless steel. So make the switch to this, okay? And you can do all of your greens, all of your micronutrients in the same thing, same vessel, only now you are not subjecting your cells to these microplastics. And another thing, so when our organs are being subjected to all these microplastics, you know what happens? You're putting a lot of stress on your organs. Okay, so what you can do is put your body on a 30-day cleanse. Get your body to its optimal state. And while your body is going through a cleanse, you need to repair your microbiome. Always take care of your gut. Your gut is the foundation of your whole immunity. Whenever I hear something's happening, I'm like, are you taking your biomedic? Are you looking at your microbiome? Always have gut fermented foods, sauerkraut, biomedic. Get into a habit of making this a non-negotiable each and every day. So have your greens, have all your alkalizing foods, and take care of your microbiome and make simple changes in your life. Back to you, Steph.
Absolutely. Right on. Thank you so much, Taz. So valuable. Wow, the world we live in. Holy smokes. Let's get rid of the plastics. Okay, so a few weeks back, we had Carmela and Nayeva do crafting your brand, creating your brand, and you can find that on our YouTube channel, Million Mom Movement YouTube channel. And if you haven't checked out our YouTube channel, oh my goodness, not only do we have all of our past Fierce Fridays for the last 2 years, this is our 3rd year of doing Fierce Fridays, but we also have all the lunch and learns. They are incredible recordings to send to folks that you are wanting to educate about how nutrition can transform health. So without further ado, we have part 2 of creating your brand with Nayeva and Carmela, and we have Crown Cindy Kelly shortly is going to be interviewed. So thank you so much, ladies. We're so excited for part 2.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. I will get started. Hey, everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show you our Million Mom Movement page first, because I haven't actually ever done this before with our Instagram channel. So if you're not already following us here, please go follow our Instagram channel. And I just wanted to show you how I've created kind of a brand here with our colors, right? And you can see I do white blocks and I do the blocks with photos, promoting all of you that are part of our movement. So the one that I did want to show you is I've created a reel right here. I'm going to show you one reel on the Million Mom Movement. And it's not showing my sound, but this one is specifically talking about glyphosate in our snacks. So for all you moms out there that are passionate about this subject, next time you're at the grocery store, take a couple video clips of the foods your kids like to eat and bring awareness to this. And go ahead and close that one out and just show you a little bit of how this is. You can see that we have right here, the link in the bio is what I always talk about when I'm promoting our social medias, right? I always tell you, if you can't find what you're looking for, look at the link in the bio. So I just want to bring you here for 1 second to show you what you have access to in case you haven't looked at this yet. We have our events calendar for the Million Mom Movement. We have Join Our Movement right here, so you can go see the pledge, our website, our Fierce Friday links. Our YouTube replays are right here. Everybody asks me weekly for this. We also have our petition you can sign, our blog, and our scholarship application. So I just wanted to show you all where to find that because I get that question all the time. So remember, link in bio, that's where you find everything for the Million Mom Movement. Now I want to go back to, excuse me, it's not letting me do that at the moment. Let me go this way. And I was going to go to my other page and just show you some of how I've branded it there. And it's not showing up at the moment, but I wanted to show you some different options. So you can see this is my product page. So you can see how I've branded it here. On my highlights, I have all the colors that I love. And then here I did something similar to the Million Mom Movement where I do a white block and then a picture image block. And I have a whole lot of fun here with reposting some of the info from Purium Health products, some from Purium Business, and some of my own creations as well. Right here, I wanted to highlight my newest reel, which unfortunately, I don't know why the sound isn't coming on here, but this is a fun little video. You can go check it and you can see I'm changing the products from our plastic packaging to biodegradable. So this is just a fun idea. Earth Day is next week. We have a current competition with PHP Earth to post about how we're going earth friendly. And so I just wanted to give you all a fun little idea of how you can just touch a product, change it into a more earth friendly item. And you can do that with a lot of different sound clips. And it's just a fun way to keep it interactive and fun. And you can see here, I'm promoting the coffee shop pack. I'm promoting lifestyle changing, right? The price of junk food versus our healthy options with Purium, us going plastic free, as well as inviting people to a spring group transformation. So I'm going to stop my screen share and I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to you, Carmela, because I know you have lots to share as well. And I'm so excited to hear more from Cindy Kelly as well.
Awesome. Thanks. Oh. Hang on just a moment. Does that come in well? Or is it echoing? Just making sure.
There's an echo, Carm.
There's an echo. Hang on a moment. How is that? Is that better? No, I still hear it.
You have to mute and turn the volume all the way down on your other device, I think.
Yeah, she's right. That's what happened to Tass and I when we were doing that.
Okay, we figured it out. I just logged out of my other screen. So happy Friday, everyone. Thanks for having us back for our branding segment. Part 2 is really exciting because we were getting through all of the stories, the posts, the lives, and then we landed on the reels and we didn't have enough time. And so this is actually a really important part of social media at the moment that a lot of us in the marketing world are figuring out for our own brands. So I'm really happy to be a part of Nayeva's real focus and expertise here. I wanted to bring on my own upline because I too am still trying to figure it out. And I think that a lot of us here are trying to figure it out too. And honestly, I think when you think to yourself, nothing works, it won't work. So we're helping you here, start from scratch, start from the very basics of, getting yours started. That's it, just get started. And the key part of branding is to find your ICA, which is your ideal client avatar. And who is it that you're speaking to? This is so key, is your audience. And in understanding who that person is very specifically, your language, what you're saying throughout all of the reels, what you're promoting, it really has to be in that language speaking to that person. So I just got off of a really incredible network marketing training. I'm actually midway through, and it's all really about verbiage. So what we're doing in these short 30-second to 3-minute reels or TikToks are a little bit longer, you are putting into the minds your specific avatar, what you're trying to attract, right? You're trying to attract them to be interested in what your message is ongoing, to follow you. And you have to really write this down. So what I had done with Cindy Kelly, she did a really great training with me when I first got started, and I literally had no reels at all. And I wasn't in TikTok. So we all start from somewhere. We start with writing down who it is that we're attracting and what kind of subject matters does that person really need to hear your voice to teach about. Like, what is your expertise? And everybody has a different set of expertise, and it doesn't have to socially, be acceptable to every person. We're looking to attract the kind of person. So I wanted to relate with mine. When I first found Purium, I wanted it for convenience. I needed convenience. I was nursing 2 children and traveling, and I needed nutrition now. And I also was looking for an opportunity to be able to stay home and really be hands-on with my children, because that's really what all mamas truly do want. And we have that all wrapped up in this opportunity. So when I saw it, did I know that that was what I was getting into initially? Not really, but what my senses said was I loved the idea of the cleanse and detoxification. So definitely put that on your list of what are the things you want to talk about with your avatar, because that's what we specialize in: gut health, detoxification, organic foods, clean living, green living, planetary wellness, all of these things. I just wanted to remind you guys from the last part 1, that's what we want to focus on. So the reels, what I also recommend, some tips specifically that I learned just because I'm newly starting, is that you are creating videos. But you can also create photos, and they have to be very aesthetically synced. So you can create your own like social media notebook. And page 2 of our action plan has this specific section, the social media engagements, and specifically the reach out. So you have to connect your branding to the reach outs, because a lot of people I see brand, but then they don't have a lot of sales. So you have to have that connection, because that's what it will lead you to. So key is to get started and start making videos, and really you can have a video film day and then an edit and style day, because you're going to want to start to put together a cohesive branding for that avatar. And you can repurpose. So it's really with specific strategy and intention that you can go in maybe with your upline sponsor to help you with this, because that's exactly what I had with Cindy. She had already been branding for quite some time prior to me starting. And then I was able to then coach my team, even just getting started. Some of my team is actually more branded than I am, which I'm grateful for. And they teach me. What can I say as well? For the new person, what you do have to do about reels and videos like TikTok as well, which is, very relevant, is you have to be a watcher. So you have to scroll. You have to take a little bit of time and see what works for others. What is it that people are really going viral with? It does not have to be about dancing. It could be about expertise. And it, like people who are functional medical doctors, they're going hard on their topics. And that means they're showing up consistently and really being didactic, like really educating the points. And people are viewing it because they're searching. So you have to see, like my daughter who's 11, she teaches me this. She's like, well, Mom, in order to create content that's not cringy, you have to look at what really works for people, getting the millions of views, and seeing what your language is for your avatar. No, she doesn't say that to me, but she says, look at what works for others. So, and that's your editing style as well, because like Nayeva said, there's a certain cohesive branding look that you want to keep to your page. That's why it's strategic. So I wanted to actually bring on Cindy Kelly immediately, because we have a lot of things we can discuss, and she in her own branding has had a lot of success. Cindy, can you come off mic and greet everyone today?
Hi, thanks for having me. It's a fun topic. Excited to be here.
Awesome. Yes. So, Cindy, you've been so instrumental in me actually focusing on what it is that I'm saying as a message. And I'm still realizing I'm doing some things not as focused to my client avatar as I could be. And I love that we even have talks about this, you and I, about how we can improve it. But what has been your particular avatar, and how did you come to your own?
Okay, that's a complex question. So it's
Yeah.
a good question. Um, so I started to look at the things that were me. So there's looking inward, and then there's like reflecting outward. So who am I? Like, who am I to the world? What are my strengths? And what are the things that I need to overcome to show up as my best self? So it's kind of like a big picture reflection in order to kind of get to the point of your perfect avatar. And then who do I want to attract into this world, into this business? Like, I might want to attract every single person to use our superfoods because every person can benefit from them. But if you're thinking like that, your message is not going to be really clear for people to know like what you're about to join you. So you really want to have your branding be pretty targeted and pretty specific so that you know exactly who that person is. And it doesn't mean that along the way you won't meet other people, but the whole concept of like know, like, and trust on social media is really interesting because they don't know you, right? So you have to first create things that are exciting enough that it might get seen so that they can know you. And then they have to like you. They have to like what you're talking about. They have to like your vibe. They have to feel like they connect in some way. And then you can potentially establish the trust and a relationship where maybe they can be a partner. So what you're really trying to do is you're trying to kind of hone in on who are you. And that's why that's kind of a deeper question that you ask, Carm, because who am I? Like I wear many hats. So when you're branding, what you really want to try to do is come up with like the 3 to 5 things that are who you are. So like for me, who am I? Like I'm a mom. And so every, so often when I say 3 to 5 things, like that will be one of the things that you'll see me talk about is like mom life, right? Things that you might get as a mom, things that you'll totally relate to. And the thing about Reels in particular is that you can find all these really, really fun audio clips so that you can get that likability factor, but you can have a message. So it's not just completely arbitrary, but there's like a message in there, which could be me having a really beautiful moment with a kid, or it could be me having a moment where I want to chop my head off because mom life can be challenging, like all things mom, right? It could be something that's relatable. Another thing that I talk about, and that is me in my branding, is just this corporate employee that went through life with this one direction and found a better way and is very pro network marketing and pro creating abundance for myself and for my family and for others. So you'll find reels where I'm constantly bringing in that subject. Then you'll find kind of a third piece being like my posture, that I think it's so important to who we show up as for ourselves, who we show up as in the world. And I'll do a lot of reels about that. And then the last one that I'll sort of put in there, which is like kind of like different pillars of who I am, so that I'm not only talking about one thing over and over. Like I'm not just talking about posture every single reel, but I'm also not talking about a new topic on every reel where someone sees you and they might think it's a funny reel, but they have no idea who you are. The other piece would be health related topics. So where I will bring in something about me having 6 superfood salads in my Purium shaker cup, or like, but I'm doing it when I'm doing it in reels, I'm doing it in a way that I'm using an audio clip that's really humorous, really fun, that potentially is trending, so that somebody can kind of, so that I get more chance, like a better chance that I'm getting more exposure, that I'm getting eyes on it because the content is something that's trending, that's fun. And then through that, if I can connect in the areas of who I am, which is like, those are my pillars, then I can find my right person. To get to my pillars, which is why I said, Carmela, it was kind of like a complex question. To get to my pillars, to like figure out what pillars I wanted to talk about, I also really did a deeper dive into what are my strengths and what are the areas that I struggle with. Because the best advice that I could probably give to anyone here is that people connect in their pain points. People don't connect as much in all of the happiness and the joy, like in a perfect world we would, but in the struggles, like the realness, the rawness of the struggles, not the like depression, negative, not bad energy. That's very different. Like everyone's got their own struggles. Like they're not just, looking to have a pity party and connect with more struggles, but like in the overcoming the struggles, in the how do I get to where I want to be, like ultimately your goal when you create a reel, if you're creating anything on social media and you're not doing it just to please your friends and family and have fun, your goal is to get people that think that, hey, if I want to, like if Carmela was in my life would be in a better place. Like you want people to look at you and go, man, if I had that person in my corner, I would totally shift. And so how do you do that? You dig into some of the areas that you've maybe struggled and how you've overcome those struggles. And you bring that in maybe a fun, light humor sometimes with reels, but you're still talking about content and things that are really important. So I hope that answered your question.
It did. I know that it's complex because when you did it with me, it took me a while, like a weekend, to really write down those 6 that you had asked me. What are the main topics for my avatar? And then what we're studying now, Cindy, right now in another training is about neuroscience. So yes, don't complain and bring negativity to your branding, but provide solutions and get into the heads of exactly the person who needs to hear what you have to say as a solution. Get into the heads, get into the lifestyle. What does she eat? What does she wake up in the morning and need and think, and what does she love wearing and eating, traveling to? All of these things start to hone in really like the way you're presenting those 6 topics. No, and you do a beautiful job of that. And we're going to share your page in a little bit. But I was wondering, because you had started a while back, and what have you found over doing this over the course of the months? Like, what has been the most popular theme that has been viral for you? Because it's really fun. And anyone who sees her page is hilarious. She's just hilarious. People think that, leaders are really serious, but the way you can personalize and have that likability is really reels. Reels are so fun, where you get to show your true colors, even if it's over a lip sync. Like that's actually one of the most funny things. But yeah, go ahead. I'd love to hear what you think has been so far your most popular virals.
So this might be surprising to some of you, but I have found that you cannot figure it out no matter how hard you try, because I will do my reel that I think is like the best reel I've ever done. It'll be spot on. It'll be like a 25-second reel where every single word that came out of my mouth was perfect. Like, go ahead and put me on stage, give me an Academy Award. Like that thing was golden. Like the content was golden. My hair was good. Like everything was just like, get me on stage. And I'm like, damn it, it didn't go viral. Huh. And then I will do one that is like absolutely like took 3 seconds. I said 2 words and it will. Now, I'm not saying that means like all of that type doesn't and all of that type does. I'm saying it's sometimes like you just don't know. So what I do know is that you have to show up every day consistently. So do a reel once a day, like give yourself a challenge, 365 reels. And if that seems overwhelming, batch record. To have 1 day a week where you going through, you're finding, save the audios that you like, and then batch record all of your content, and then have one where every day all you have to do is then put together your messaging and share it so that it's already there ahead of time. And of course, repurpose. So I create on Instagram. So if you're creating on Instagram, repurpose on Facebook, repurpose on TikTok, like let these work for you, because you're going to have a different audience in different places, but stay consistent with the tone and what you're doing and who you're talking to. But as far as like a certain type, I have found that what I can say with reels, why I love reels so much more than like a story. Number one, that the real estate value is there to stay. It doesn't just disappear after a day. So a story is like a great little way to throughout the day, here's what I'm doing, here's what I'm up to, share, cool. But a reel is something that people will sit there and scroll on. And some of the reels that I have had, I had 2 different reels that after a month got over 50,000 views a month later. So the value of having content out there that it's at any point in time, like could just start taking off is huge. But the best thing that you can do is to just be consistent. So if you could do 4 reels a day, do it. But if you're not going to do 4 reels a day, don't do 1 reel today, 4 reels next Wednesday, and nothing in between. Like, that's what you don't want to do. So if you really are somebody that can do 4 reels a day, go for it. Like, that's great, but that's a lot for most people. So I would say try to do 1 reel every day and try to stay connected to your messaging. So the one thing that I have is I have a big whiteboard, and I still have it. It's up right now. I can see it at the moment, but like, I have a whiteboard where I basically put together, like, what are the struggles that I overcome? Who am I? Who's my target? And when I'm creating content, if I have my thing put together, I double check it. And I'm like, hey, am I talking about one of those things in my reel? Or is this completely out of left field and not going to make any sense? And if I think this audio is super funny and I want to use it anyway, can I have a different message behind this audio? Because maybe I can, right? Like, there's an audio that one person's talking about this, another person's talking about, like, maybe I can just shift the messaging and then I connect with somebody that way who can kind of connect more on those pain points. So I wish I could tell you that it's every single one that I talked about this, or every single one I talked about this. But what I will notice is that sometimes instantly when you create something, like, I can tell in the first 2 minutes. Now, again, it can go viral later, but as far as like that initial, I can usually tell if after 10 minutes, I have 7 people that have already watched it, or if I've suddenly had 500. If I've had 500 after 10 minutes, these are not my people. It's going on the For You page, they're showing it to more people, and it's going to keep going if it's getting interaction, if it's getting likes, if it's getting comments. So it's going to keep showing it to more and more people. So yes, like, different hashtags, different ways of connecting with people to get it to go viral is important, but which one's actually like the special one? If I had the answer to that, mine would all go viral, but it's not. It's definitely inconsistent. You just got to keep showing up.
Excellent. Yeah, I really feel you on the consistency, because I have seen so many network marketing and social media trainers talk about the Reel a Day challenge. And then I was researching, Cindy, about like the most viewed, most popular Reels TikToks ever. And they're all like 17 million views, you know, and I watched them thinking like, oh, they're going to be amazing. They were really like, it's not about them. It's about what you created prior and how you support your branding all around that one viral post. So guys, don't think that, you know, you're making perfection production. And I think that everybody does think that. And a lot of us are like intimidated by even starting. And this is where I wanted to speak on this specific. I'm so glad we're talking about this as a whole Fierce Friday Zoom, because this part of our branding can really attract new followers to us. If you're growing a brand new page on Instagram, maybe like what Nayeva shared, I think was just specifically her product page. But it's really beautiful. I mean, she did such a great job with the Million Mom, but then she now is just going really focused on like product education and things like this. So what I've seen is that it has to be consistent. And if you have a team and you're not challenging them to just show up that way or create, it gets you out of this like rigidity of like thinking what to post all the time. It's more like make videos out of your lifestyle. Just take your camera around all the time. Just keep videotaping yourself and pieces of what you think is beautiful in your lifestyle, that's healthy, that's branded to you, and then piece it together when you hear an awesome audio. So, you know, something I just wanted to piggyback off of like how you come up with things. And what's really key to me is that my daughter always tells me how funny is that you have to like be a watcher, look through sounds, like look through what other people use the sounds for. And they're like, whoa, there's so many variations of what people think of when they think of the sound and how to use the sound. But I will tell you as a tip, like if it's synced well, like there's it almost feels like that video is meant for that moment and that exact like timing. There's alignments that you can change. You can speed up as well. There are lots of functions. I don't feel like this is what this Zoom is about. I don't feel like we have to go into the nitty of the functions, and like you definitely want to play around. Anything with technology, you have to play with it. That's just technology. That's the way we learn. It's very kinesthetic. And if it's going to be you branding yourself, this is the new age. Like everybody has to now then be their own photographer, videographer, editor, makeup artist. Like everything has to be then you. And then everyone does see, like Tal's talking about, like trending. There are apps that are like trending, like trend. What is it called?
Trend Talk.
Yeah, you could pay for some things, but honestly, look at what the community is using and use their content. You have a different audience as well. You know, that's what's so beautiful. Somebody in our community created something about glyphosate and made a rap out of it. And I was like, wow, that's so cool, you know, and literally new content, new music for it, had a green screen backdrop, like all the functions can really create beautiful new marketing for people. And then what about TikTok versus Reels for you? How do you feel then? Could they be repurposed easily, or are they very different people you're looking at?
No, repurpose. Please repurpose. Like you put so much time into creating your content and having your message be there. Literally, like save everything to your phone once you're done, and then upload it to, even if it's not at the same time, even if you're repurposing it, but a different flow. Like I would say you need your time in the day for prospecting, and content creation can take up a good amount of time. And even though content creation is fun for some people and not fun for others, even if you love doing it, like don't get so lost in content creation that you're creating content all the time, but you're not actually like getting business out of it. So whenever you can get more time back in the day, I would say repurpose. And the people that come to you on TikTok may or may not be the people that come to you on Instagram. Like you just don't know who's going to see your stuff. So I would just go into, for any of you guys that are newer to branding on social media, don't be afraid. Like yes, I'm doing this all the time now, but I was terrified of social media when I started. I was absolutely terrified of it. When I came to Perium 8 years ago, or 8.5 now, my accounts on social media were private. Like I didn't even have a public page. Like I literally had them to like take pictures of my kids and send them to grandma. You know what I mean? Like I was like mortified of the thought that people might be able to see me. Like I did not want to be seen, like at all. Like at all. But so I realized, like when I did my own branding, that playing full out for me, which I want all of you to consider, like, are you playing full out in your business? But like playing full out for me meant that I had to let go of the things that stopped me, and that I was going to share those things on social media. Yeah, I can share it. Someone just asked for my Instagram.
Yeah, let's share screen. I would love to, give you guys a visual. Are you able to see that now? My main screen?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so, well, for those of you who don't or are not familiar, this is the post button, but then there's a specific Reels button, and you can view see your views there. And let me go to Cindy's really quickly. So mine is Pure Race Souls, and hers is Organic Boss Mom. So these are the posts, these are the Reels, and yeah, it's great. I always laugh when I see this, Cindy. Hang on a moment. Oops. There we go. Okay, so go ahead.
Oh, you can swipe my face off to the side of the thing because it's still like popping up on top of you. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Is that good? Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what we were discussing really, is like, you never know what's going to go viral. So you try all different things. And so I could see like how they're all so different. Like some of the things that you're using here, like effects and augmented realities, like
That's a
that.
real quick no. That's a hard pass.
It's fun that you
The CDC is now
incorporate the
recommending.
children.
But what I do have
A lot of
are a very particular set of skills.
a lot of lip
Skills I have
syncing. Let's see. What I did want to highlight was, you see how there's, a very cohesive color scheme and type on top. So how do you create that, Cindy? Like, say for instance, it's the image right
I already
before.
told you.
it's pretty much the same image. Sorry, how do I get there? Here, but then you white screened it. I don't even know that function. How do you do that?
So do you want to pause the video? I don't know if they can hear me over it. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I create a cover of the image. So basically, like, part of what I wanted to do with the branding was to have like a cohesive color palette. And I know Nayeva was talking a little bit about that as well. You don't want to have like 20 different colors if you're trying to create a brand. Like, if you're not branding, it doesn't matter, who cares? But if you're trying to create some sort of brand with what you're doing, choose a color palette. And I would say 4 colors. You could have 3 colors, but like no more. And so I have, and you can sort of see, like, even in my bubbles at the top, like I have a couple colors in there. There's like that pop of color for me, which is like that purplish pink color. I have a light blue and a light green, and then I just have like a gray, and they're just 2 different shades of gray. And so I use those colors for everything, including the and it got better as like, if you scroll further down, you probably, like, I didn't always do that, but I started, like, there's more, like I started bringing them in more and more. Like, see that one that says no, like I wouldn't do that now because it's just it's off my palette, like the palette. So I started to learn how to pick certain colors and then use those when I'm actually creating. So I have a cover photo, and when it gives you an opportunity to either choose from your reel. This is also what I like about Instagram. It doesn't let you do this yet on the other platforms, but you can upload a cover at the exact same time. So you can just go onto Canva. You can take an image. That's the ones that you're looking at. Like, I literally like took an image from
This one.
Apparently this filter shows.
There we go.
Yeah. So I took an image from the reel. I imported it into Canva. I removed the background, and then I put something on it in my color palette as far as like the title. And that's what's being for the cover photo. Now, if you scroll, go to like the most current ones, Carm, where you'll see like the colors a little bit more. Some of them, just because it can be a lot of work. Like the current one that I just did yesterday on the left, like I just import the color and I just type the color directly on. So that one doesn't have a cover photo, but I'm using my exact color, which is in my Canva color palette. And I'm uploading it like it's an image. So I have my color palette, I upload it as though it's an image. And then when you've got the dropper and you can pick your color, I select from my image and then I trash my image. So this way I'm actually like hand selecting anything that I'm typing with my specific color palette. And so you can do that in everything you type throughout the reel itself. And then you can also do it in a specific cover photo and have that be, more aesthetically pleasing. But I'm using like the same couple of type fonts. I'm using the same colors. And then I'm trying to be really consistent on the content, like what I talk about.
Well, see, I just learned this now. So it's such a good topic because a lot of us who are doing them, they just choose the cover moment from the timeline, the processing video, and it's not as clear and you can't type on it. So I like this. This is like how it shows up on your feed. It makes a big difference than just kind of randomizing what's the best moment, because they don't give you a lot of options for the cover photo. So thank you for that tip. I hope everybody took notes on that and how to do it. But Canva, we had a short training on Million Mom as well with that. But yeah, Canva is a really great tool that you could pay for to assist your whole business really with the marketing aspects. And this is another great way to utilize it is with your Reels, with your TikTok. So should I look at TikTok as well? So let me just show you. I'll show you mine, what I'm talking about. Like I try my best to have the color scheme be like a very fleshy color, black or bold. And see, it's just in the moment. See, I couldn't figure out how to create covers. And as you just told me, I'm like, oh, that's so much better for when people view your page, because that's essentially what people do when they arrive at you. They look at the whole thing and then they choose which one they want to see. So if you had like a title, it's so much better. Thank you for that tip. Let's go quickly to TikTok since we're looking at. Mondays, Okay. Sorry, guys. Give me a break. We're going to.
I'm back again.
And how do I find you here? Is it our? There it is. Cindy Kelly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically everything you're seeing on TikTok is an upload from Instagram.
Okay.
And you'll see and because you can't change the cover photo on here, it's interesting, but you'll see like towards the top, all those colors are the same because I've been putting them in the initial video. Like I've been uploading the colors not without a cover photo.
So you cannot do the cover photo on TikTok. Is that right?
No, correct.
Good to know, guys. And it looks so different because it's moving. It's just like a different feel. When people arrive here, you have to choose a moving cover from what it is that you get as an option. Okay. Yeah. And like I said, as a tip, if you don't know what to post, you really have to watch another person's branding too and get ideas. That's how I started mine. And you were telling me that you had Facebook. Okay, let's quickly go to Facebook because we have reels there too. And for those of you who don't know where they're located, as soon as you get on your page, it's so funny because it's so hidden. I don't like that.
It's different on different people's pages. I just give you this disclaimer because Facebook likes to confuse us, I guess. I don't really know, but you might find it on one person's page and then you might not find it in another. They're there, but like there's go to photo. Well, actually, it might be different, but if you go to photos right there, see you have a reels button, but see where it says photos at least. Sometimes you have to click photos and then you have to double click photos and then a drop down pops up that shows you where reels are. So just know that because if you're looking and you can't find someone's reels and they're telling you to watch it and Facebook likes to hide it. So you have a reels button so you can click reels right there. But this is another one. So Facebook, not only do they not allow you to choose a cover or upload a cover, they don't even allow you to choose a cover.
Oh.
So Facebook literally selects the cover for you. Now, the way that you're looking at them, it's like blowing them up. That's not what they actually look like, but that's why I said Facebook is a bit wonky. But see, so if you look at that one, like for example, you could see how the words are cut off. If you look at the actual, if you go to my page and look at the actual, it will look like this. Facebook is just a little bit behind on the aesthetics of grouping everything together.
Gotcha. Okay, I have a question, and this is something that I'm sure a lot of other people are looking to figure out too. So you've got these 3 platforms, and it's real on Facebook and Instagram, and of course TikTok videos. So when I know that people search hashtags and they search audios, and so how to populate more to the explore, bigger audience where people don't know you to have more views is to get the audio. So what I have been doing, and I think this is what you do too, is you get the audio and even on a different platform, like say, for instance, Facebook, but you have the videos, you created it either in TikTok or in Instagram, but then you want that audio to be found by all the other people who are using that audio on Facebook. So you find the audio, upload the video that you created on that audio. Does that make sense to you? Is that what you do?
I've just been uploading it from my phone, so it's not uploading it. Are you talking about the original time or when you repurpose it to the second platform?
Yeah, repurposing it to the second platform to have it have the most views using an audio that's like a trending one, for instance.
I haven't. You can, but you have to just be able to match it exactly. I just used my own, and it's worked. It's worked. It's a really good question that I've considered, and my results when I tried it were about the same. And by that I mean random. I couldn't tell the difference. I had a couple that didn't have, like there's one on here that has 50,000 on Facebook right there. See that one? Let's go up a little. You just passed it, 50.3 thousand.
Whoa. So, and you got paid this one. Here's one for almost 16. It's so interesting, right?
16,000. Yeah, out of nowhere. And then right there, see that one, 50.3.
Texted my husband Bruno Mars
I
lyrics.
like this one because you're screenshotting your. Yeah, I think when you use the technology, when you really truly like play with features and you kind of like produce a little bit more, people really get, they just shut me down.
But yeah, it's so, and that one wasn't an audio that had anyone else. So it goes back to me saying, just show up consistently so that enough people like your content that they start to follow you. That's the very best advice I can have on any of the platforms. Because yes, I do like when you're going on Reels, on the bottom left, if it's got a little arrow pointing up, it means that it's a trending sound. And if it just has the regular music note, it's not trending. So in theory, they show the trending sounds more than they show the other sounds, but I don't think that it's 100%. I really don't. Like, I think just showing up every day and creating a brand where more and more people follow us is the best thing that any of us can do.
I love that. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering the most, we're all thinking about optimization, time management, and like, how do I get this viewed more? And which platform do you do that with or not? So I typically create on Instagram Reels because I really like the functions, but TikTok has even better, but that has the watermark. What do you usually create on, and what is most user-friendly for you?
I create on Instagram. I've tried creating on all three. And I've tried to see if that changes the algorithms too, like if it was created on there, because that's what I heard, that like you want to remove a watermark, and it hasn't held true for me. Like it hasn't really, I batch my Reels now. Absolutely. If you look at my phone right now, I have 7 that I did yesterday, and I'm going to put one out a day. Like my Reels folders of ones I need to delete takes on its own zip code. But that's the only way, I can do it, because I can't in the moment ever like seem to get it together and be in the right lighting and do it. So I just, when I'm have an hour to just do it, I do as many as I can, and then I try to repurpose them. I like doing them on Instagram. Like I said, I didn't find that there was any difference for me between where I was uploading them and where I wasn't. And I just like the features on Instagram. That's just personal preference. Someone else might completely disagree and like it on, Facebook is the one that's been paying me for Reels. And
talk about that a little bit, because I was wondering as we were bring up Facebook, I was like, was it the one, I think it was specific amount of views per day that triggered that, right?
No, they asked me like before I was even doing Reels, like I got an email and it said, we're inviting you to turn your account into a creator account. We'd like you to create Reels and we'll pay you. And at first I was like, really? Facebook? And I think it's just the different, and now I know Instagram's doing it as well. They're trying to get their share of the marketplace. So they're trying to get people that, like, you know what I mean? Facebook was the last one to do the Reels. So I think they were trying to take away the share from Instagram and TikTok, because that's what people are trending. So even though I've been doing everything on Instagram because it has more functions and I think more options, like I'm sharing them on Facebook and it seems to be working. They just don't seem to have quite as much yet. And I don't like some of just the way that it's organized, and hopefully it'll change. But whatever you feel comfortable on, like they're all great. I honestly think whatever you feel good about creating on, just keep it and repurpose it as much as you can. And just get really clear. Like if you haven't done it yet, like do a branding session with your upline, go through your pain points, figure out what they are, get comfortable talking about the things that are uncomfortable, because when you get comfortable talking about whatever it is, like whatever your limiting beliefs are, I often talk about like being a perfectionist and like things falling apart if I'm not in control, or like feeling like I have to seek approval from other people, or trust issues, or like fears of being seen, things like that, like things that I've struggled with as a human, but as like an entrepreneur. And then I have to show up and be seen, or I'm not going to build a brand, and I'm committed to building a brand and committing to this. And so when you talk about things like that, someone else is like, oh my gosh, that's me. I get that. That's me. So find your pain points. Like if they don't have to be anyone else's pain points, they just have to be your pain points, and then talk about them in a way where you're moving through them, not where you're stuck on them, but like where you're moving through them so that you can connect with the person that you're hoping, like, hey, if you connect with me, imagine what we could do together. And if you just do that consistently every day, I think that's the number one like the best advice I can share.
Thank you. We were just talking about this today in the other training, how your ICA, your ideal client avatar isn't necessarily you, although at first, like your 6 are your topics, your pain points, but you could be looking for a man, you could be looking for a different type of person as well, so don't limit yourself also, and then kind of roll with the creativity, because that's what I see is like, sometimes when people hit their viral sweet spot, if they've been doing it consistently, it's because they found their voice in the process. So just divorce the outcome, marry the process of this particular, income producing activity, guys, because it's a way to reach and expand your widen your reach to audiences that do not know you. I think this is why reels are so hot, is because it really can allow you to go viral when you find your voice and, make it fun. Of course, like the more authentic, the more people view it. So thank you so much, Cindy. I think you're invaluable to the topic and this subject at hand. And Nayeva, I just want to give it up to you as well for just being an incredible, social media manager and really helping us to get our message out to the whole community. And what we're going to be doing in the future, just keep staying tuned because it's going to be on our socials. Would you like to close out, Nayeva?
Sure. Thank you so much for that incredible presentation. I've learned so much from you, Cindy and Carmela, and I love this conversation. And it's an ongoing conversation because social media is ever evolving and we're always learning new tips and tricks. So thank you everyone for taking the time out of your day and joining us today. And next Friday, we are talking about autism and the autism awareness, the Awaken project, with Annie and her partner at the Awaken Project, Tirza. So Annie and Tirza will be presenting next Fierce Friday about the Awaken Project and autism, and they're going to be touching on what Dave shared about on Wednesday, as well as sharing some testimonials from 3 different moms who have autistic children that have been using this protocol that Dave gave us on Wednesday. So please reach out to your families and friends that have an autistic family member and get them on next Friday. And then on Wednesday, the 20th, Taz and Carmela are going to be talking about ADHD on our Lunch and Learn. So please calendar that, come back for that, and we'll see you again next week. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great rest of your day and an amazing weekend.
Thanks, everyone. See you next week. Thank you, Cindy. Bye, everyone.